You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Please deliver us today. We just can't go.
Do not categorize the blessing by colors. It is not the colors you need to watch. It is the character. Watch out for the character. I'm going to tell you that there are three basic types of people that you will interact with if you are a child of destiny. Can I share this with you? The first group are confidants. Confidants. You will have very few of them. Confidants are those people in your life who love you unconditionally. They are into you. Whether you're up or down, right or wrong, they are into you. They are in for the long haul. If you get in trouble, they get in trouble with you. They'll come see you in the jailhouse. They'll come get you out the crack house. They're confidants. You can open up and share anything with them. You'll never inherit your kingdom until you find your confidant. You can't be David till you find your Jonathan. Having a good confidant is the key that unlocks the kingdom, because you were raised outside the gate and God's going to cause you to reach over the wall. You got to have a confidant behind the wall who can mentor you for what God is going to do next in your life. The problem with most people is that everybody they run around with is under them. And so you are forever feeding people who can't feed you. And after years of feeding them, they begin to drain you. You've got to have somebody who can feed you so you can feed somebody else. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Am I talking to anybody in here? You need the confidant then. The confidant is those few people that come along in your life that are for you. They are with you. They are intimately intertwined in your life. They are there to make sure that you reach your destiny. They will confront you. They will get in your face. They will get in your business. They will tell you when you're wrong because they are confidants. If you have 2 or 3 of them in a lifetime, you are a blessed person. Without them, you'll never be who God called you to be. You need to find your confidant. Number 2, the other group are your constituents. They are not into you. They are into what you are for. They are for what you are for. They are your constituents. And as long as you are for what they are for, they will walk with you and work with you and labor with you, but never think that they are for you. They are for what you are for. And you have to know that, because if they meet somebody else that will further their agenda, they will leave you and hook up with them, because they were never for you. They were just for what you were for. They are your constituents. And throughout your life, if you're not careful, particularly if you're broken, you will mistake your constituents for your confidants. And you will think that they are for you when they are really not for you. They are just for what you are for. And by the time you get through falling in love with them, they will break your heart as they hook up with somebody else who is for what you are for, because it was never about you anyway. It was about the causes that you represent. They are for what you are for, but they are not for you. They are your constituents. Can I go deeper with this? The third group are your comrades. These people are not for you, nor are they for what you are for. It is just that they are against what you are against. And the comrades will make strange bedfellows. This will cause people to come together who are not for you, and they are not for what you are for, but they are against what you are against. And they will team up with you to help fight a greater enemy. But don't be confused by their associations. They will only be with you until the victory is accomplished. These people are like scaffolding. They come into your life to fulfill a purpose. And when the purpose is complete, the scaffolding is removed. But don't be upset when they are removed, because the building always remains when the scaffolding is removed. What I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters, expect the constituents and the comrades to leave you and desert you after a while. Don't be upset when they don't react to your dream the way you expected them to, because they were never really with you in the first place. Be careful then who you tell your dream to, because if you tell your dream to your constituents, they will desert you and try to fulfill the dream without you. If you tell it to your comrades, they won't support it because they never were for what you were for anyway. If you find a few people in your entire life with whom you can share your dream with, you are a blessed somebody. I can tell you how to identify people who are really for you. If they are really for you, they will weep with you when you weep, and they will rejoice when you rejoice. When you walk in a room and you tell somebody good news, stop being happy for a minute and watch their reaction. If they're not happy for you, shut your mouth and walk back out of the door. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying to you. Oh, yeah, because when they are really connected to you, they will be happy for you when you share your dream. Find somebody, look them in the eye and say, are you happy for me? If you don't get the right reaction, don't tell them anything else. You need somebody who's really going to be happy for you. I don't want just anybody praying for me. I don't want none of them haters praying for me, because you know you hate me and you don't want me to succeed. I want somebody praying for me who really wants me to be blessed, who wants me to be an overcomer, so you can put up your oil and stop speaking in tongues, because you know you never did speak to me anyway, and ain't no need in you coming up here in this hospital like you gonna pray some cancer up off of me. I'd rather have somebody who really loves me lay across the bed and rebuke the devil. And God is so faithful, he'll always give you somebody. Oh, if he ever sent anybody into your life to help you, you ought to just clap your hands and thank him for the people he sent. Don't worry about the people he took. You ought to praise him for the people he sent. Tell somebody, say, somebody help me. I didn't get here by myself. Somebody helped me to get here. Somebody taught me how to stand. Somebody got me behind the gates. Somebody taught me the protocol of the pilot. Somebody encouraged me when I felt like dropping out of school. Somebody helped me when my back was up against the wall. Somebody mentored me when I was going through a divorce. Somebody helped me when I was going through a crisis. God is so faithful that he will never leave himself without a witness. He will send somebody.
You get up one morning, your elders have something, you don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man has to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man has to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man has to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man do get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that eagle eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. So we got up one morning, independence happening, getting the thing come easy. Now they're taking liberty, but if they know about petition, we have to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jabbing, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that dragon eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking to get it there easy. He got to practice economy, from getting licked from the slave master to become the land owner. Brother, it's a terrible journey, packed with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up, pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me brother, cover me sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who have the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the village with yours truly, Professor Wall Street, Uncle Tommy, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And you know how we started thing here in the village.
It have our place, WZYE, where they treat you like friends and family. So if you're looking for a place to belong, going WZYE, you could come along. If you have haste, do come with me. We do have dad on WZYE, Santa Meditate.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our resident love doctor, Dr. Rennie Mohammed. And as we say here, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear a purple t-shirt, a pink t-shirt, a gray t-shirt. Each and everyone is welcome in the village on WZY 95.9 FM. Doesn't matter what planet you're from Mazatania, Sonarania, Xenaranians. Each and everyone is welcome in the village on WZYE 95.9 FM. And let me bring in my partner, the one and only, the man himself, the man most known as the one and only Uncle Tommy, buddy.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, village family. Good evening, Wall Street. How are you today?
Today, I can't complain.
Did you run today?
Huh?
Did you run today?
Does a plane fly?
Okay, say no more.
Well, I will tell you what happened today, right? Today was a pretty good day. I'm doing something here. Today was a pretty good day. I decided to be a little adventurous today. And I went to the track. I warmed up. I warmed up 1 mile. And then I did 5 times half a mile. Right? So that is like 2.5 miles. And then I warmed on 1 mile.
All right.
Right? So it was pretty good. And when I was finished that, I had I have my own running academy. So I had a young guy I had to train when I was finished. Oh boy. My phone is killing me now. Hold on, eh? Yeah, and when I finished, I had a young guy who I had to train. So all in all, it was a good day. How about you?
Pretty good. Right now I'm visiting with my brother and sister and at another end of the country. So
Mm. So you're in a different part of the country then, so to speak.
so to speak.
Okay. That's not that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying?
Different.
Yeah. Say that again.
It's a different setup, but
What's the difference? Just give me a quick example.
well,
Is it mhm.
you gotta get used to a new location.
Okay. All right. All right. I think that is it there. Okay. Yeah, so what can I say? I'm somewhat tired now, so to be honest with you. Because this is the first time in a long time I did
So
5
much,
half. Huh?
quite a bit.
Yeah. I did quite a bit. But that's just the way it is, man. It's par for the course. And of course, at 8 p.m., we have a first time in the village political analyst, Rishi Maharaj.
Well,
You know,
I was pretty happy to see my good friend Nadia Mongol first in the village today.
mm. You even say, you even send Nadia a message, boy. Where's that one?
Hey, I was
You never
happy
send
this.
nobody no. I
I
never see
was
you send nobody no message in the chat.
hey, Nadia is special. And
I, I'm
when somebody special like that comes in first, I have to be appreciative.
Nah, man, but I find yeah, I know Nadia's a regular, but um, so there's the second time Matilda Street get broken, boy. Matilda was going for a triple, man.
But it's okay for Nadia to break her streak.
Going for the hat trick.
Nadia is a favorite when it comes to this village.
All right, all right. Nadia said good night, everyone. Anselm, good night. Tommy, good night. Marshall Nesbitt for the first time, boy. Good night, Nadia. Happy to see you here. Blessings to you. What, boy? I never see you send a message to nobody else in the chat.
Nadia
I know.
deserves it.
All right, I know where's that one. Yeah, all right. Bijram, good day, Uncle Tommy and Wall Street. Locked on all listeners. Share the live today, menu dal, rice, and smoke herring with bird pepper and coconut chutney. Shatine? I Shatine? Right?
Yeah, well,
What is coconut Shatine? You ever had that?
what he did is he put coconut milk in the shaitan while cooking it.
Coconut milk? Then I know coconut Shatine.
Well, he call it coconut shaitan by because of putting coconut in it, but the shaitan
But if I put coconut in a cook up, that is coconut cook up.
you can call it whatever you want to.
Yeah. Bijram, I don't understand that. I ain't get that one. I ain't get that one. Here's Bijram.
This is gonna explain.
Yeah, Bijram. Explain.
Hello.
You connecting. Bijram. I know what happened, you know. He gone. You gotta explain that. Um what happened, boy? Hey, nah, I can't accept it. Let me see something. Hold on. Nah. I don't wanna do that. Hold on, eh? Awesome. All right. I know what's going on here. Bijram, try the next phone. Try let me see. Yeah, Bijram. Yeah.
Hello,
Hey.
good night.
Good night.
Yeah, coconut chutney, right?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
It's when you rosy and shadow bend on the inside,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Why?
Yeah, you're going in and out. Stay one place. No, say it over.
Your
Say it over.
rosy coconut,
Your rosy coconut.
I put little shadow bend on the inside. And coconut and you sit on fireside on the stove, grate it,
Okay.
you put some shadow benny,
Mm,
and you eat in that, the dal and rice, right?
mm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, all right. All right, I didn't know that. All right, thanks a lot, man. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
we learned something new. We learned something new today.
Tommy, you hear about that one?
Well, I'm learning.
I'm telling you, you think it's easy? I didn't know that. That's why that's why we had this kind of this section, the first half hour so a session where we talk about things, previously, Rose coconut. JB Harper says, JB Harper, welcome. Breaking news, China Bagel formally recognized the state of Palestine. What take them so long? Hey, Tommy?
I don't know.
What take them so long?
They needed something.
Oh. Please. Needed something. All right.
Yeah, they needed something to happen.
I guess, but that could be considered to be good news, for Trinidad, right?
I reckon.
Because all the news been having since it's a kind of a, I know what to say. Look, the latest one, Tommy. This is the latest one, that happened today.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and to those in authority. For the past 7 years plus, we experiencing some sewer problem. And to this date, without anybody coming in from the relevant authorities to resolve the problem, it's had a deteriorate again. The sewer coming up into several residents who money be done. They have a burst sewer line below the bridge there. Where we stand right now, between the phase 1 and phase 2. Near to houses, where the sewer stench is so ridiculous, children end up in the hospital. And we ask the relevant authorities to come forward and address the situation. We look at the COR NP. We need to see the Minister of Health. We've been in contact with the Minister of Public Utilities, and he guaranteed he will be here next week. We need somebody, we need the Prime Minister of this country, the Honorable Kid Rowley, to come forward to let us know something as residents. But we are human beings too. Don't care where we reside. We also human beings, and we does vote. We pay our taxes the same way.
Tommy, you want me to be honest with you, Tommy?
Go ahead.
You want me to be honest with you?
Go
You
ahead.
sure you want me to be honest?
Yes, indeed.
Do you want me to be honest or you want me to be politically correct?
Be honest.
Tell me. Be honest.
Be honest.
You don't want me to be politically correct?
But you can be, if you can do both, that'll be great.
You know what, Tommy? I get fed up of hearing them complaining and then going and voting for the same party who giving you the same problems. I know, seriously. I fed up of hearing them in truth. I'm fed up. Serious. You gain dirty water, nasty water, right? Where the MP? Where the MP? That's why they have this video on me circulating.
White people of Lavantil.
This is why I
and fail Gerald Hines. Fail Gerald Hines. White people of Lavantil. White people of Lavantil. And fail Gerald Hines. Fail Gerald Hines, who has failed you all miserably. White people of Lavantil. And fail Gerald Hines. Fail Gerald Hines, who has failed you all miserably. Year after year after year.
You see, they don't want to play Tommy. Seriously.
White people of Lavantil. And fail Gerald Hines. Fail Gerald Hines, who has failed you all miserably. Year after year after year. And you know what? People say to me, Wall Street, you ask them to paint a little building. Fail Gerald Hines, failed in doing that. You ask them to demolish a building. failed. Gerald Hines failed in doing that. The man is an abysmal failure. And let me say to the PNM, my party, and the black people of the PNM, who the PNM have been failing over and over and over, starting with number one, fail Gerald Hines. Fail Gerald Hines. Failing the people over and over and over. And the people of Laventille have to stand up and say enough is enough. You cannot allow somebody to keep doing the same thing and expect to get different results.
Yeah, KFC. Here.
Good night, Tommy. Good night, Mr. Washit.
Good night.
Washit. Where feel the PNM doing them that right show and election call in the morning when back and forth the PNM.
Correct.
I call that. Me for them, you know. I don't know. I don't know. He's short there.
I ain't not sorry for them no more, you know. Seriously. I ain't sorry for them no more. Seriously. I ain't lying. You know, what they should do is even get some dump truck and throw more sewer water for them.
Yeah. Them wicked. Them wicked to say me see the bright lawyers come up and try to defend the plan. Even plan beat them there.
Where he is? Where the Kareem Marcel is? Where Kareem Marcel is? Eh? Why you ain't going to defend them people? Why you ain't going to bring up the action protocol against them for that? Why not? Them? You know why? Because all of them going and vote for the RPNM. Let them get his sewer in the face. It's sewer in the face.
Wash it. I was down there last night. I got to use that toilet. The whole toilet full of species. You flush, you try to flush, you guys bucket water to flush, and the whole thing, the toilet bowl flooded up with water coming up.
Yeah, no, is David Rudder's thing dust in your face? Yeah? Hey, Tommy?
Yeah.
It's sewer in their face.
Yeah.
Sewer in their face. And them happy with that. Look, all they take all the
I feel like them like bad representation, man. Them doesn't vote on policy. I know them, you know, wash it. I am amongst them, you know.
Let them take
like
this
sufferation and pain. Election call the morning, going back and forth, back the pain and put them back right there, you know.
Them like to suffer peacefully.
A black man.
Yeah.
Yeah, suffer peacefully as a black man. Look, so listen, love.
Yeah, man. Bless. Tommy, when I see that video, I say, you know what? I say, boy.
Indeed.
I fighting for them people and them. You understand? And let me call Anderson. Let me call Anderson. Let me call our next activist. We say we go call activist, right?
Yeah, call Anderson.
Yeah, let me call him and see. I know. He must be down there somewhere. Let me call him. He must be down. It's sewer in his face too. Oh God, Tommy, we like it so, boy.
Of course. You're free.
Be free. We're free. And the snacky going down there too. Boy.
Abuse as normal.
Normal abuse. Normal. You understand? Where Anderson going? Anderson didn't pick up his phone. You know, when I see that today, boy, I said to myself, Tommy, anyway, listen to this, Tommy.
To keep you and me in check, keep us under control, keep us passive and peaceful. It's like when you go to the dentist and the man is going to take your tooth. You're going to fight him when he start pulling. So they squirt some stuff in your jaw called Novocaine to make you think they're not doing anything to you. So you sit there and because you got all that Novocaine in your jaw, you suffer peacefully. Blood running all down your jaw. And you don't know what's happening. Because someone has taught you to suffer peacefully.
Yeah, and there's more, you know.
How they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. political chump. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? That party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party. You're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what politics is supposed to produce. We must know what part politics play in our lives. And until we become politically mature, we will always be misled, led astray, or deceived or maneuvered into supporting someone politically who doesn't have the good of our community at heart.
You know, Tommy, Malcolm X couldn't have said that any better. How could a community, a constituency that has never forsaken the PNM be in such dilapidated, rundown, socio-economically disadvantaged? How could that ever be? Yeah, KMC.
Yeah, Mr. Washington, one more time. Mr. Good night to my brother Tunji, Kingsley, and I think I'm going to be tough. Today, Kingsley calling and talk about that. Kingsley calling a young boy along there, slave catcher. But that he community, that's still a fair community. You have a big play in the PNM now.
You supposed to stand up for your community, but he don't have no testicular fortitude. You understand?
Yeah.
Because
what's he going on for years, you know?
Isn't he an older man? Isn't he an older man?
He's an older man in Port of Spain Corporation down there.
So why he can't go there and march with them people? I bet he can't do that. He cannot do that. He can't do it.
Yeah, you gonna make your party look bad.
Oh, okay. Okay, let them suffer. Let the people suffer.
What a red pumpkins do. I glad for the young fella, you know. PNM get my bread. I thank you for that. I thank you for that. But you gotta help your people, man. You gotta stand up for your people, man.
You gotta stand up for your people.
Because that long in Barrapo and don't make up that don't fix already, you know.
Long time.
That
don't fix already.
Rodan said I'm going down there and fix that down there. One time, 3 people and them down there. You know?
It's madness, boy. Only
our community. Madness, doctor. Listen,
yeah. In our community, and you know the sad thing, right? Them same people who protesting there. Let election call tomorrow now. Them is the first one in line to go and vote for the RPNM. First one. Or they take all the swear. Yeah. One time they come to dip all your finger. Or they still going and vote for them who haven't only living in them conditions. Look, listener, not me. I just want
to keep you and me in check. Keep us under control. Keep us passive and peaceful. It's like when you go to the dentist and the man is going to take your tooth. You're going to fight him when he starts pulling. So they squirt some stuff in your jaw called Novocaine to make you think they're not doing anything to you. So you sit there and because you got all that Novocaine in your jaw, you suffer peacefully. Blood running all down your jaw. And you don't know what's happening. Because someone has taught you to suffer peacefully.
And that's exactly what happened with them people and them. Somebody have taught them over all these years of voting for the same party over and 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 getting sewer water. And you keep going and vote for them. So take your sewer water. Take it. Listen, even Imam Abu Bakr, God rest his soul. Listen to this. This is one from the past. Right? One from the past. Listen to this.
Who has the Africans disenfranchised?
The African themselves, the PLM is supposed to be the African party, and the Indians have only had 2 terms. So of course, the people, the PLM.
Now, Imam, do you consider the PLM to be a black party?
Me?
Yeah.
I just told you that I'm not a politician, I'm a priest. I'm an imam.
No, just asking that question.
No, quite frankly, quite frankly, from what I know and from where we are and from where we came to where we are, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So you're saying they are not a black party?
No, I just told you, look at the ministers, the people who have the most important ministries in the PNM at the moment are not Africans. That's what I'm telling you. Look for yourself.
Well, see, I didn't say. I didn't have to say. The Imam said it. God rest his soul. Yeah? Right? I'm telling you all, them people, I don't know when they go wake up. But
now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? That party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party. You're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. We must understand the politics of our community. And we must know what politics is supposed to produce. We must know what part politics play in our lives. And until we become politically mature, we will always be misled, led astray, or deceived or maneuvered into supporting someone politically who doesn't have the good of our community at heart.
According to a Caribbean Development Bank poverty assessment, 26.3% of black people in Trinidad and Tobago live below the national poverty line under Prime Minister Keith Rowley. This is significantly higher than the national poverty rate of 15.2%. The poverty rate for black people is also higher than the poverty rate for other ethnic groups in Trinidad and Tobago, such as East Indians, 12.5%, and mixed, 10.6%. There are several factors that contribute to the epidemic poverty rate among black people in Trinidad and Tobago.
Did you know that the unemployment rate for black people in Trinidad and Tobago has consistently been higher than the overall unemployment rate? According to data from the Central Statistical Office of Trinidad and Tobago, the unemployment rate for black people was 18.2% in 2022, while the overall unemployment rate was 4.9%. This means that black people were nearly 4 times more likely to be unemployed than the general population in 2022. However, the unemployment rate for Indian people has consistently been lower than the overall unemployment rate in Trinidad and Tobago. In 2022, the unemployment rate for Indian people was 5.6%, while the overall unemployment rate was 4.9%. This means that Indian people were less likely to be unemployed than the general population in 2022.
Folks, let me just read this before we go. Van Meha says, Tommy having internet difficulties. Anderson, I just try to call you, man. Badmeha says, hi, I thought Shuma was not food business there. How could he sell food there? I don't know. Anderson says, good night, my friend, from Akira and Anderson. Mean June Julian says, good evening, Wall Street and Tommy. Trini Hayes says, good night, Slim. Trin Jersey in the house. Hey, Trin Jersey, welcome on. Yeah, Mr. Florida, you have 5 seconds before we go for the break.
You want me call back after the break?
Yeah, call back after the break. Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, man. So, folks, we're going to go for a quick break. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you. I already see our guest is already in the background. So let's take this break. We'll be right back after this. Stay constant, don't go nowhere. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after this. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Listen to this prayer that comes from before. Please send us another Moses again. Oh, we just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. Time to make them oppress us stay. So the children could see them.
And of course, we are back to It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can share the live at WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook, WZYE TV on YouTube, WZYE 95.9 FM on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 or 973-609-6509. And you can also send your voice notes to those numbers as well. Let me bring in our guest, political analyst, Mr. Rishi Maharaj. Welcome, sir, to In the Village. How are you doing?
Hi, good night. I am great. I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure. This is your first journey into the village. We have had many of the political analysts here in the village because they come to talk to the diaspora. We have this program here, about Trinidad and Tobago, trying to, give a few ideas to Trinidad and Tobago. So we really want to welcome. It's myself and another person, they call him, Trinidadians call him Uncle Tommy. So we want to say welcome to you. How are you doing today, Mr. Maharaj? Is it
I'm good. I'm
Maharaj
good. Yes.
Maharaj? Is it Mr. Maharaj?
It's M-A-H-A, so it's Maharaj.
Okay, Maharaj, right? And
Yes.
Rishi, right?
Correct. Yeah. Similar like the UK Prime Minister.
Oh, Rishi Sunak.
Right. Same pronunciation. So.
Yeah. So, as a political analyst, right? Do you get that if you make a comment against one party that you might be a supporter of the other party and vice versa? Do you ever get that?
I myself have never gotten that. I try to throw I am neutral. I just speak it as it is. But sometimes you do get it where people feel if you're criticizing one party or the other, oh well, your allegiance would be where if you say if you're criticizing the UNC, then your allegiance is with the PNM, and vice versa. If you criticize the PNM, then your allegiance with the UNC. But at the end of the day, I tell people I'm just a simple person from Trinidad, and I want to see the country be made better, not only for me but for my children and for the people that live here. And I try to speak it as it is, as I see it. And I don't throw any allegiance to anyone anywhere or the other.
So, I mean, there are so many different factors, important issues in Trinidad and Tobago today. One of the big issues is with respect to the Auditor General and the attack by the AG and the Minister of Finance and the supposedly 2.6 billion or 3 point something billion that's either missing or disappear in thin air, or whatever it is. What is your take on that situation? Do you believe that it's a blatant attack on the Auditor General?
I wouldn't say it's a blatant attack on the Auditor General because we have to remember, first of all, the Auditor General is a creature of the Constitution. So the Auditor General was created by the Constitution and has certain powers under the Exchequer and Audit Act in Trinidad and Tobago. And the Auditor General's position is exactly that, an auditor, which is to audit the financial records of the state, which includes all ministries and all public agencies that fall under its remit. So the Auditor General has a very important function in law and in practice, which is to audit the books and audit the practices of all agencies to make sure that they're acting in a transparent and accountable manner, and whatever monies are spent, they're able to account for it, and there's a track history or a record of exactly what went on to approve and to spend whatever X money. What I think is happening now, though, is unfortunate. While I say it's not, I don't think it's an attack directly on the Auditor General. I think what we're having right now is a very serious allegations being made by both sides of the shutter. We have the Ministry of Finance that's stating apparently that there was initially books that were given to the Auditor General for the last financial year, but apparently there was some irregularities in the books in terms of funds not being properly accounted for. I think, like you said, 2 point something billion dollars that really was supposed to be there, but wasn't there initially. And the Auditor General got the books and was, I guess, doing their job. And now the ministry wants to now rectify the error by putting in the correct records. And the Auditor General is saying, well, no, hang on. There's some, and what we have also going right now is irregularities in terms of timelines. When happened, when did it happen, how it happened, in terms of we had one question as to whether or not they backdated the reports to her as of January and not reflecting another year. So there are a lot of discrepancies right now in the public domain, and what we have now is a very big tit for tat that's happening in the public domain. That probably should not really be happening in the public domain, but something that should definitely has to be rectified, and it has to be rectified by both parties. But I think having it played out in the public domain puts a bad spin out there in the eyes of the public.
But Mr. Maharaj, don't you think this talks about transparency and accountability as far as the government is concerned?
Definitely it goes to the heart of transparency and accountability, because the questions obviously as auditor would probably ask is why was this discrepancy initially? What caused the discrepancy? And what things are you now going to put in place to now make sure that doesn't happen again? So it obviously goes to accountability and transparency, but then the question now is, does the Auditor General, does she accept it? Does she not accept it? Or does she make changes? There are different things. And I'm not an accountant, I'm not an auditor, but I'm sure within the auditing landscape, there are things that you can do in auditing records, because I'm sure in normal private sector organizations, when something's being audited and something is not sure about, they'll have it as a note, a management note in the audit report, and something that's picked up the following year, and then you deal with it. So I'm sure there are ways to be able to deal with it, but it definitely goes to the question of transparency in the manner of why were these funds unaccounted for in the first place? Because I think, if I remember hearing correctly, questions around the electronic check system, and there's issues with reconciliation, and reconciliation was done properly, and also all different things we're hearing. But so there definitely needs to be a clearing of the air by all parties in terms of what happened. But right now, from what I'm seeing in the public domain, what we're hearing is a lot of tit for tat. Minister of Finance is saying one thing, the AG is saying one thing, Auditor General is saying everything else, and everybody believes they're telling their versions of the truth. And everybody believes their version is the version of the truth. And in that, people are getting confused and people are not sure exactly what is actually going on.
Mr. Maharaj, I hear what you're saying, but don't you think, listening to what happened here, there could be a possibility of misbehavior in public office? The possibility of that?
Possibility of misbehavior in terms of misallocation of the funds?
Yeah, because
Well,
2.6 billion was
yeah,
missing.
well, 2.6 billion
And
wasn't
all of
accounted
this,
for, so definitely, and that's the role of the Auditor General. The Auditor General rule now, and I think that's where she's holding up her independence by saying, "I'm an independent creature." The Auditor General is appointed by the president, so it's independent of any government control. The audit, even within ministries, the audit department is controlled. It has reports directly to the permanent secretary, so they don't report to anybody like that. So there's a level of independence, and that's where the role of the Auditor General has to come in now and query these things. But if you're not giving her proper access to the information, the question then becomes, can she properly do her audit function and question and query, what really went on?
I was reading some news, right, in that the Attorney General told the Auditor General to go get an attorney because the Attorney General was representing the Ministry of Finance. And it will be a conflict of interest if the Attorney General also represent the Auditor General. And when the Auditor General went out and get an attorney, the Attorney General turned around and said, they don't want to pay the attorney that the Auditor General.
See, they're bringing administrative issues into, because these are administrative issues. These aren't political issues. Auditor General is not a political creature, right? And we're dealing with a Ministry of Finance in terms of the ministry's accounting practices, not the Minister of Finance, but the ministry, which is the Ministry of Finance, the Treasury Department, and the Board of Inland Revenue. So these are administrative issues, administrative things that should be dealt with in administrative ways. Not saying that conflicts will never happen. Conflicts will always happen, right? But there are ways in which it can be properly dealt with. And the way it's being portrayed in the public domain is that they're now making it a political issue where for me, it's not a political issue. It's an administrative management issue. And the Auditor General and the Ministry of Finance, taking out the minister and taking out the AG, needs to find some way to settle this as quickly as possible.
But
Because it does have implications in an economic sense. Because remember, this could possibly reflect badly on the finances of the country if you're not representing the finances of the country in a proper, transparent way. When it comes now to going outside there to do public borrowings on the international market, other things like that, or even allocation of funds from the IMF, World Bank, or whoever it may be. This now goes to the question of, like you said, transparency and accountability, and not using the monies properly. So it goes to all of that. So it has wider economic implications for the country apart from the political fiasco that's taking place right now.
But don't you think it's a political issue from trying to mislead the country with respect to, after the report was done, somehow you coming back and tell people, and it's my understanding that they have two different reports. I saw
there was an initial report that was sent to the Auditor General, and then
right.
they came back and said it wasn't reflective fully, and they want to send the amended corrected report to the Auditor General.
Right.
And that is the one that she's refusing to question as to whether she took it, whether she's refusing to take it, and the date. Because let's say, for example, the initial report was sent on dated 30th of January this year, and they sent an amended report. From what I've heard, the amended report was also dated as 30th of January of this year.
Right.
And
right.
she's questioning, can it be that? Because I got the 30th of January reports. You cannot be sending me another report dated at the same time. So all these questions have been answered. I think is it a political issue? It's a political issue that should be dealt with by the politicians in terms of you have the opposition and you have the government, the PNM in parliament. If they're going to be debating it and dealing with it at a political realm, that's all fine. What I'm saying is I'm not taking it out of the realm of politics in terms of UNC and PNM battling one another, saying misappropriation of funds and trying to bring office into this dispute. What I'm saying is the office holders where this is happening in are administrative office holders, constitutional office holders, and that should be taken out of the political realm and dealt with at that level. If it's all fair game for the UNC and the PNM to deal with it in terms of the way they want to do this from a political point of view, but this is really, in my mind, should not be taken into that particular field because it's a very dangerous field if you're going to be taking these things into the political realm, given the office holders that they're dealing with.
Right. In your estimation, do you believe there are going to be any consequences for any people's action in this situation?
Are there ever consequences for people's actions in government in Trinidad that you know of?
I ask and answers.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you know the answer to that very well.
No, well, you the political analyst.
Right, and that's the answer. The answer is, should there be consequences for people misappropriating funds and misrepresenting? The answer is yes. Will it happen? We know the public service very well, the public service regulations. So dismiss a public officer is very a difficult thing to do if it happened within, the public office holders in these particular areas. Should they be held accountable? The answer is yes. Will it happen? Well, we know the history of that in Trinidad and Tobago very well in terms of those kind of precedents.
But what about the politicians? If the politicians were misleading the public, because I think it's. Go ahead.
No, well, then if the politicians are misleading the public, then the ultimate test they will face is at the public polls when it comes to election. But in terms of discipline, then you're looking at what? The Integrity Commission. We know the Integrity Commission's track record in terms of dealing with people who don't declare things properly or people who misappropriate different things on the whole in terms of the actual accountability factor. So that's the biggest thing is, yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying. People should be held accountable. But the question is, do the institutions we have work effectively to hold people accountable to that level, both at a civil service, public service perspective, as well as a political perspective. And the only way the politicians may face the consequences for this would be in elections and not anywhere else.
But as you say that, right? Where is the population? I know the population going to be divided anyway, right? The population going to be divided with I call them the RPNM on one side and the UNC on the other side, right? Shouldn't this be a people's thing? Because this is for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is not a PNM thing or a UNC thing. If it's 2.6 billion missing or misappropriated, whatever it is, that's 2.6 billion of the people of Trinidad and Tobago money.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't this be a people's issue rather than a political issue or an auditor general issue?
I totally 100% agree. Because you're talking about 2.6 billion isn't chump change. 2.6 billion people for a country like Trinidad and Tobago could do a lot of different things in different sectors in terms of roadworks, in terms of healthcare, in terms of building school, whatever. It's a lot of money that can be used. So I think definitely people need to be taking this more seriously. But again, the problem, unfortunately, in Trinidad, especially over the last, how many, decades or years ago, we've become very polarized in terms of, one party versus the other party. Secondly, we have a generation here that don't take these things up to heart as much as they should do, nor do we have civil society, because I think something like this should be, we have Transparency Institute of Trinidad and Tobago, we have other civil societies that try to talk about good governance, accountability, and transparency. They're the ones who should be making a big deal about this and putting this out there in the public domain because I'm looking at it from a public good perspective. But again, those voices are few and far between.
Shouldn't there be? I mean, they have so many commissions in Trinidad. They have a commission for everything in Trinidad and Tobago. I think if a hurricane come in Trinidad, they might have a commission for why the hurricane come to Trinidad. There's commissions for everything. Shouldn't there be a commission of inquiry into this when this is all finished?
Well, then you're looking at what powers do commission of inquiries have? Because again, the whole question of commission of inquiries are supposed to do a specific thing, which is to get to the bottom of what caused whatever issues. And over the years, we've had many commission of inquiries, and then people will say, okay, we've had commission of inquiries, what comes out of it? At the end of the day, we get everything, it's public broadcast, it's out in the public domain, people can hear and see what's happening out of it. But at the end of the day, are there any consequences coming out of it? So yeah, I mean, I hear you in terms of maybe we should have a commission of inquiry coming out of it. I again, we need to have answers because again, it's $2.6 billion that has seems to be misappropriated one way or the other, unaccounted for. But do the I guess the biggest problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago for me personally is do the institutions that we have that's supposed to hold these things accountable, do they really work? We can have a commission of inquiry, but then will that really work at the end of the day and hold people accountable? Because we've had numerous examples of them throughout the years of coming out, spending a lot of money, bringing all these different people down here, neutral people to try these things. At the end of the day, it's everything's out there and people are still living their life happy. We had CL Financial, we had one for that. We had one for Call the Hat when Call the Hat question was. Right. We had one just recently with the issues with the guys who got trapped in the pipe and died, the Paria inquiry. Right. And yeah, we're still waiting for people out of these different inquiries for things to happen. Reports were made with regards to was it not Unicut on and the questions of accountability and transparency, procurement and different things. A report was laid that was supposed to deal with these things. We never saw the report. We never heard the report. So again, the history is there for that to see.
Mr. Maharaj.
Good night, sir.
That's Tommy. Go ahead, Tommy.
Good night, sir. Good night. I'm listening to what you're talking about, and I'm thinking constitutional reform. Can we address these issues once and for all in constitutional reform forum and take the country to the next level that we need to go to?
I think yes. I think for me, I think our constitution has served us well, in terms of bringing us out of independence into where we are now, both the 62 Constitution and the Republican Constitution, in terms of setting up the institutions. But I think now for a country into the 21st century, we definitely need to have reform of the Constitution. I think numerous political parties have spoken about this in many years, that we need to amend and reform our Constitution, to lead us into the direction we want to go. But again, this goes straight to the same thing with the Commission of Inquiries. We've had numerous attempts at constitutional reform, and people have come out and made comments and publicly went out and made comments, presented papers, and made good arguments as to changes that should be made. Yes, we all never fully agreed on some of the changes, but at least people took the opportunity to go out and get their voices heard. And at the end of the day, nothing came out of it. Currently, right now, the current government has a constitutional reform effort again that's going on. They have a committee, I think, that they've set up, and they're going across the country soliciting reviews. And when you look at the attendance at these meetings and everything else, it's very poorly attended. In terms of the amount of people going out there, a lot of the younger population are not going out there because I think people have are fed up of hearing the word constitutional reform and going out there and putting out their opinions and hearing nothing. I think they don't think that government really is taking these things seriously, but uses it as a rallying cry every now and then, just to pretend that they're doing something, and then at the end of the day, nothing happens.
Last one for me before we move on, Mr. Maharaj. I work at the New York Stock Exchange for 23 years, right? And when I went into a Goldman Sachs, for example, and if Goldman Sachs told me that we have $2.6 billion in the bank, what I will ask Goldman Sachs, give me all your bank statements, give me all your documents, and let me reconcile that $2.6 billion. So I think it's very easy. If 2.6 billion is missing or whatever it is, it's easy for the Ministry of Finance to say, here are the documents, here are the documentation that proves that, yes, we didn't put it in at first and we missed it, but here are the documents to prove in order for you to put it in the document. Shouldn't it be that simple, I think?
Or it should be that simple. Yeah. No, I think it should. It's not rocket science. These are things that, like you said, it happens in the private sector all the time. When you're auditing books and then something came up afterwards that you didn't account for. And there are ways and there are mechanisms to account for it and have it represented and then probably carried over to the following year. So there are methodologies to doing this. So it's not something that is rocket science and something that could, that can be done. But I think, like I said, it's not being dealt with properly. I'm sure there are different, easier ways to deal with it than the way it's being dealt with right now.
And last one, are there any historical parallels in Trinidad and Tobago political history where financial discrepancies have led to similar standoffs, if you know?
Not to my knowledge, that I can remember.
Okay, so this sounds like it's a first in.
Yeah.
And do you believe this can have any impact on foreign investors and the country's credit rating?
I think it could have, like I said, I think it could have wider implications economically to the country from a international looking down, looking in at us kind of thing, because it goes to your like you said, your credit worthiness, your trustworthiness, allocation of funds. Because when World Bank and IMF and IDB gives you money, you have to account for the money being spent and everything like that, and you have to show and being able to demonstrate. So I think if not handled properly, it could reflect badly on the books of Trinidad and Tobago from an economic point of view, and it could have international other implications outside there in terms of lending or going to borrowing and stuff like that, and have impacts on us in that longer term trend.
Now, how do you see this standoff affecting the upcoming elections? Are there any potential winners or losers based on the handling of this crisis?
Well, I think it's something that the government has to get a handle on very quickly. I think from a governmental point of view, if they allow this to continue to simmer and to have what's going on in the public and have been played out in the public domain, the elections are not too far away. I think the elections are due in August of 2025, so it's a year and 2 months away. So I think it's if you don't handle something like this properly and you allow it to linger on in the public domain, it could have implications and consequences for the government going forward for the elections for sure.
What do you think is the role of the opposition in addressing this issue?
Well, the opposition's role obviously is to hold the government to account. First and foremost, that's the role of any opposition party, to hold government to account for whatever action they're doing. And that is something that they should be doing in parliament, and should be, the discourse should be along the lines of what's happening, and don't make it in terms of personal attacks on one versus the other. And again, asking questions in parliament and forcing the government to actually play out their hands in terms of getting this rectified as quickly as possible. That's definitely the role of the opposition. It's not to be nice to the government. No opposition party is ever nice to the government. But their role definitely is to ask questions and make sure and hold the government for whatever questions or acts of or misappropriations or whatever the 2 point something billion is answered properly in the public domain.
Now, let's go over, we just talked about the opposition there. Let's go over to the opposition now with the 5 dissenting MPs of the United National Congress. No, I don't know if you could correct me on this, right? The internal election for the political leader of the UNC is not due until 2025, right? June 2025. However,
I think it's not
NATEX
due
election,
until June. Yeah, the NATEX election is due June of this year.
right? June of this year. The NATEX election
Yeah.
is due June of this year.
Yeah.
But the internal election for the political leader is not due until June 2025. Is that correct?
That is my understanding. Yeah.
Right. So in that respect, right, do you think it was a miscalculation by the 5 MPs who came out against Mrs. Kamala Prasad Visesa with respect to an internal election, in your estimation?
No, I don't think it was a miscalculation. At the end of the day, the party is governed by a constitution. So there's a constitution for the UNC, and the constitution will dictate or guide when internal elections are to be held for different areas. And based on what we know of the constitution, the election is supposed to be due in June of this year. And I think all they're asking is that the elections are supposed to be due this year, in June of this year. So let's have the elections. And I think the party's position is we're not going to have the election right now because we don't want it to distract from the upcoming general elections in 2025. And based on some of the individuals who have spoken out, they're like, it should not be a distraction because it's just putting the party's business in order and having everything in place for the elections coming up next year in 2025 for the general elections. So they feel that at the end of the day, the constitutional election is due and we should have the election. Nothing should stop the election from going forward.
Okay, so what happened? I apologize. I think my the internet there is having a little. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you clearly.
Are you hearing me? Tommy, are you hearing me?
I am.
Yeah, the internet is going in and out, in and out, in and out. So
I've been having internet problems all night myself, which I need to apologize for.
Tommy, say that again.
I said I'm apologizing for my.
Mr. Maharaj, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. You hear me?
Yes. I can hear you, Mr. Maharaj.
Yeah, I am now hearing you because I wasn't hearing you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm hearing you
all
clearly.
right. I didn't hear most of your answer. Right. I didn't hear most of the answer with respect to the my words, not yours. The miscalculation of the 5 dissenting MPs to the UNC with respect to the internal election for the political leader, right, in 2024, as opposed to the party's internal election for the UNC in 2025, right? Now, how does that look from a loyalty perspective with regards to the 5 dissenting MPs and their loyalty to the political leader of the UNC? Does not send a kind of mixed message?
It does send a mixed message. It's the way it's being played out that is really troubling, I think, for the UNC. All organizations have issues. All political parties have issues and they have quarrels. Not all political parties do everybody agree with everything that's going on in the party. But they are within any organization, there should be ways to be able to bring up that discontent and have it addressed within the realms or within the halls of the organization and the party without it having to be spilled out into the public domain. And I think that's the troubling aspect of this within the UNC is that I'm not sure if the 5 members would have tried to address this internally, which I'm sure they probably did, and they felt that they were not being taken seriously. So they decided that the best course of action would be now to put this out there in the public domain. I think it started with Mr. Perret, who did a press conference a couple of weeks ago talking about it, and then we saw other people jumping on board. I think that's the troubling part for the UNC, is that this is being played out publicly. It's okay if we have our disquiet and discontent and arguments internally, right? And we're able to manage it internally. But the second it comes out in the public domain, I think it becomes a question of, especially for those voters who are neither PNM nor UNC, but are looking for a serious party that they can show their support behind for the next election. It brings into their minds, I guess, questions of loyalty, of whether or not this party is stable, and whether or not we can show our support behind them in the next election. So I think it's troubling for the UNC from that aspect in terms of playing to those voters who they are trying to court for the next election.
Now, let's say speculation. Let's say the UNC decide to call a NATEX election in June, which is due next month, right? And they call it. And then the political leader decide to come up, have these meetings in order to select MPs for the next general election, knowing that they don't know when it is, because that's up to the prime minister. The prime minister decide when is going to be the next general election, right? But the political leader of UNC decides, you know what, then I'm going to call in that next election. She's going to put up a slate, or they're going to have a slate, right? And they're going to run. And if that slate wins, then she call now for people. I think they have already done that for
They've
people
already
who want to
started it.
represent certain
They've already started it.
constituencies.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, they have.
Right, right. So, but do you believe that the 5 MPs, excluding Rodney Charles, because he has said he's not going to go back up, the 5 MPs, right? Mr. Anita Haynes, Rushton Parry, Rambley, and Dr. Ragbeer. Do you believe that Mrs. Kamala Prasad is going to select them to represent their constituency again?
No, she's not. That's an easy answer. She's not going to select them. I think their chances of being selected to represent at the next election are very slim. I think they know that. It is the history of the UNC particular. We've seen this in the past with Mr. Pandey when he was leader of the party over many years. That people who would have questioned him or come up against him, they pay the ultimate political price in that he either he definitely he never select them again to go up for elections, and those who decided, you know what, I still have the support of my constituency, and I will go out for the election. He made it a point at the election time to ensure that they lost their deposit, that they didn't even win enough votes to be able to cover the deposit and get it back. So I think the writing's on the wall already for these four, because like you said, Mr. Charles already indicated he's no longer going up. I think the writing is already on the wall for these four, unless something happens internally in terms of negotiations or whatever internally that changes it. I think these four people are definitely, you're not going to see them going up again for the UNC in the next election.
Oh boy, oh boy. So, so you have to. So, in your estimation, you believe that the UNC will have 4 new representatives for those constituencies?
Yeah, I think they're not. This thing is, I don't think they're powerful enough to be able to withstand, the leader of the UNC. Let's take a good example. A very good example is what happened in the PNM during the days of Mr. Manning, and when Mr. Manning and Mr. Rowley were literally in war. When he banished him to the other side and everything like that, and they were literally playing it out in the public domain, which was one of the first times you saw this happening within the PNM. And then election time came around and they were selecting candidates. But surprisingly to many, I guess, Mr. Rowley was selected as a candidate to go back up again, right? But I think the difference in that and to these four is that Mr. Rowley, one, was a very senior politician at that time, and he had very grave support publicly and even within the party for, I guess, the position and the stance that he took, that he was able to withstand, to challenge the sitting prime minister and still be able to keep his seat and go up against the next election. I don't think these individuals, I mean, Anita Haynes is still very young in the politics, and the other three are very new in terms of the election to the House of Representatives. So they're not seasoned politicians who have that history behind them, or that kind of legacy that exists within them, to be able to challenge the party and the leadership in this way and survive. It's just not going to happen in my estimation.
In spite of this,
could you see these four going over to the? Go ahead, Tommy.
In spite of their newness to the politics, do you not still believe that it's going to create a problem for the UNC?
In terms of those seats, I don't see it happening in those seats. I think those seats are what you would call, they're safe seats within the UNC. So they're not anything in terms of, maybe there's the one with Dr. In terms of Mayaro, that it could play off one way or the other, and it could have consequences. But I think the larger consequences it could have on the party is the question of the perception that it plays in the mind of the floating voter who is neither loyal to either party and is looking for, a, somewhere to be able to vote for the next election. I think in that regard, something like this could have an impact on them if not dealt with properly and in a swift manner. I think that is definitely a consequence that could hurt them in the next election if they don't play the cards right and deal with it in a proper way. And then to your other question, if I think they're going to go across to the UN to the PNM, I don't see these four doing that.
What about the Patriotic Front with Mrs. with
Mr.
Miss
Duke?
Pandey?
Oh well, that's
no Pandey with Miss Pandey.
Oh yeah, with Miss Michaela Pandey. That's an interesting one to see whether or not I know she is
Michaela Pandey on Patriotic Front. Yes.
Yeah, I know she's playing this very quietly. She's playing her cards close to her chest, so you don't know exactly what she's doing. I think she's just watching and waiting. I don't think she's gonna make a play in this next election as yet. I think she's still waiting to see what's going on. So maybe they can go across to her particular party, but I don't see her coming out and making any play right now in this election for anything going forward.
Are you there at Wall Street?
No, I think he got disconnected again.
Anyways, Mr. Maharaj, as far as the Tobago politics is concerned, what do you think, and how do you think it will affect the next election?
I think it's going to have a big impact on the next election. And it'll be interesting to see what plays off in Tobago. I think for me, the Tobago is going to decide whether or not the PNM wins or stays in or stays out of power. Because it'll be interesting to see what happens in Tobago with, especially with the split that happened between Mr. Duke and Mr. Farley, and how that is going to play off in terms of if it is that Mr. Duke and Mr. Farley are going to put separate people to face the electorate in Tobago East and Tobago West, then that could be in favor of the PNM because potentially it could split the vote. And by splitting the vote, that could allow the PNM to sneak in and win the next two seats. But if there's some kind of agreement or arrangement in place, then maybe I can see them definitely challenging the PNM in the next election in Tobago. So I think the Tobago situation, the politics is going to be very interesting leading up to the next year election. I think that's going to decide one way or the other what happens in terms of who the next party in power is going to be.
Now, let's go to the political leaders of both the PNM and the UNC. Now, we hear talk in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And especially coming from the PNM side, that Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bissessa is a weak leader, right? However, they want her to go. So I don't understand it, and maybe you could explain this to me. If you have a weak leader, wouldn't you want her to stay because you think she's going to lose the election rather than for her to go? So, I mean, could you explain that the people on the PNM side saying that she's a weak leader and they want her to go, but wouldn't you want, and she have lost all these elections, wouldn't you want a weak leader to stay so you could defeat them in the next general election?
Yeah, obviously you want to if you feel your opponent is weak, you don't want to get somebody who's gonna give you a good run pay money. So you'll definitely want to keep her in. So I think I haven't heard that before in terms of the PNM people saying that they wanted to go. But I think I heard Dr. Rowley said sometime back that as long as she remains leader of the opposition, he's going to stay prime minister. So I think in his eyes, it's favorable for her to stay there as leader of the UNC still.
Yeah, there's a lot of PNM prognosticators on the radio who say that they want Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bissessa to go. Let's go over to the PNM side now. But before, let's stay with, if not Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bissessa, then who are the 2 or 3 other candidates can lead the UNC?
Well, I think a lot of people are looking
Okay,
at
internet problems, folks. Internet. Boy, somehow the internet only acting up today.
You hear me now?
Tommy, your internet acting up too?
Mine is, but I've been able to stabilize it somewhat now. But yours is pretty good now.
So, folks, we are here with you back with us?
Yes, I'm here. You hear me?
We didn't hear you. We had some internet difficulties there. You went out there for like about 15 seconds.
Right. No, what I'll say,
So
I think
can you repeat if you can with respect?
Yeah. So I think the 2 names that come to mind for sure is Dr. Munilal. For sure, I know 'cause he's been a stalwart in the UNC since Club 88 days and before, as a potential leader of the party. And then there's another one, Dave Tanko, I think his name is. Uh, uh, Pretty good in terms of his debating skills and his management background and everything else. So I think those 2 right now for me are the possible standouts that could be replacements for Ms. Bissessa as leader of the UNC.
And you have any dark horse?
Ooh, dark horse.
Because I noticed you only called one of the deputy political leaders of the US.
Well, I'm not sure if they have any other clear-cut people that they think could be leader. I think those are the 2 standouts for me. I don't think there's anybody else that people may look at. If somebody else comes out of the blue, it's going to have to be probably one of the newer people who have been elected. But I think those are the 2 standouts right now.
What, Mr. Maharaj?
What about the PNM on the PNM side?
Go
ahead,
in
Tommy.
terms of, go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, I was wondering, what about Mr. Bharat? Do you think he can double back in and take charge?
Well, Mr. Bharat has said on numerous occasions that he doesn't fit the mold of being a leader of the party because he doesn't come from the heartland of the party, which is the sugar kind of belt, and he doesn't fit that mold of that history within the party. So I think although he has in the past thrown his hat to be with a challenge, and he's lost on numerous occasions, and although he's a very well mannered and well educated individual and very well known in the politics, I think he himself has come to the conclusion that there is no chance for him possibly to assume leadership of the UNC unless something drastically changes in terms of the politics internally.
Okay.
What about on the PNM side now, as far as a replacement for Dr. Keith Rowley?
Well, yeah, I think on the PNM side, some names that come to mind, you have current Minister of Finance and acting Prime Minister on numerous occasions, Mr. Imbert.
Wait. Imbert? Call Imbert? That's the first time I hear that one, Call Imbert for the...
I actually was I was on Power 102 this week on Monday, and they asked the same question. So in the question, my response was, in my mind, the 2 people that come to my mind are Penelope Beckles and current Gonzalez, Minister of Public Utilities, Marvin Gonzalez, I think is his name. I think those are the 2 people that came to my mind. And then a couple the moderators raised it. Well, what about Stuart Young, who has acted in numerous capacities and seems to be favored by the Prime Minister in doing certain things? Another possible one, Faris Al-Wari and Colum Imbert. But then the question is not only who may be good internally for the PNM, but somebody that is also likable outside of the PNM, in terms of likability, and who could attract other people into the party I think Mr. Imbert, while very seasoned politician, I don't think he's that likable outside of the PNM in terms of the marginal voters out there. So for me, my two hearts would go to probably Penelope and Marvin Gonzalez as possible choices to replace the PNM, to replace Dr. Rowley as leader.
What about Foster Cummings?
Foster Cummings, I think, is good, but I think he still has a little way to go to be able to prove himself. And why I say Marvin Gonzalez stands out is when he comes out and he speaks, and when he goes on the platform, even at certain events, the Prime Minister puts him out there in the public domain. And he's dealing with some serious agencies like now, like WASA, like TSTT, and all the issues that's going on in the country with those things. So I think he has always seemed to be a very calm, composed individual in terms of his demeanor and the way he speaks. He seems to have that likability factor that could please other people outside it. So I think that's what puts me maybe above Foster Cummings, who, while still good, probably still needs a little bit more experience out there, maybe a little bit more serious portfolio to really amp up his reputation.
I know you said Penelope Becker's right, but don't you think that her time may have passed, which was the last time they had an internal election? That was an opportunity to go and contest against Prime Minister Rowley. And since she didn't, that her sail of she have set sail because she didn't take that opportunity. And people were looking for her to go and contest Dr. Rowley. And that would have put her instead to say that I'm going out of myself. I'm going off the mold of the PNM and contesting the politically like she did previously. And this time she decided not to.
Yeah, I hear with the point. I don't disagree with what you said, but I still think that she still has, maybe it was a strategic move on her part, because I think, remember, after the last election, Dr. Rowley indicated this was his last term and he wasn't going to be going up again afterwards. But obviously, 13 or 14 months again until next election, chances are that he's probably still going to be leader of the party going up in the next election. So I think, she maybe tried a strategic move there, not wanting to go out there too early and see exactly what's going on. So it's all about strategy, it's all about timing. Maybe she felt the last time she did it, it was probably a little bit too early and she paid the price for it. So maybe now she's playing more of a waiting game in terms of that. Another name that came up recently also was Amy Brown, current Minister of Foreign Affairs,
Yeah, Dr.
and as possibly another good choice in terms of maturity, seasoned politician, served away in, I think, in Brazil and stuff like that. So he has that kind of experience and everything else as another possibility. So there are choices out there within the party. I guess it all comes down to if Dr. Rowley decides if he's going up again, which it seems to be like he is.
Yeah, he's going up again. He's going up again. I think he's going up again. But Mr. Maharaj, I was kind of surprised that you put Marvin Gonzalez in front of Dr. Amy Brown, because Marvin Gonzalez is not really a seasoned politician like Dr. Amy Brown. Dr. Amy Brown has had experience in Trinidad and outside of Trinidad. Penelope Beckers have had experience inside of Trinidad and outside of Trinidad. And Marvin Gonzalez is just basically had experience in Trinidad. And he didn't know that water need pressure to go up a hill. I don't know. What says you?
So I know Mr. Brown well. I think he was actually my minister for a time when I worked in government for a number of years back in the days. So I know he's a very well seasoned, very well knowledgeable guy in his field. So not to belittle him, it's just the names that came up to me at the time were those two, the ones that quickly popped in. But definitely, I think he is a serious contender if there's to be one to replace Dr. Rowley. Because eventually, I think that's the other problem we have in the politics of Trinidad that you probably didn't mention: succession planning. It's never really done properly in Trinidad. There's always a tumbling and fighting afterwards. So we don't have proper succession planning in the politics of Trinidad. And, so when one leader leaves, it's like chaos until somebody else is appointed. And I think that's something that I think the parties need to address properly in terms of having proper succession planning for leadership and molding people to be able to assume those responsibilities within the party. I'm not sure if the PNM does it. I'm probably sure they do. But that whole question of succession planning is something that we don't practice very well in Trinidad politics.
And lastly, did you have an opinion with respect to the amounts of money that the prime minister was traveling, and that he indicated that there was a 17 billion return on investment from all of his travels? Again, when we talk about transparency and accountability, in my estimation, if you have received 17 billion return on investment, ROI, somehow you could at least show the people half of that 17 billion. I don't know if that happened, just like how we missing the 2.6 billion, if that 17 billion is missing too, or they didn't
Well,
find the documents for that as yet.
well, I guess the question you see in Trinidad, we always like to talk about how much money is spent. You know, we always spend because I mean that's the way even our budgetary process is like that. Ministries get X amount of money and they try to spend X amount of money before the end of the year because if they don't spend it out next year, they're not going to get the same amount of money. So we always speak in terms of output, which is how much money is spent, and not outcome, which is benefits that people are deriving. So while I hear the Prime Minister saying that, yes, I may have spent, I think it's 20 something million dollars in travel, but the ROI was 70, was how much is it, $17 billion? You know,
Yeah,
from a
17 billion.
from a monitoring and evaluation perspective, you know, I would ask, so what? Where's the where are the tangible benefits that I, as an individual in the country, am seeing in terms of, you know, roads are still very deplorable. Every morning, the traffic jam in Trinidad to go anywhere is headache. I live on a normal weekend, I can get to Port Spain from where I live in San Juan in about 15 minutes. But on a weekday, it takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get to the Port Spain. So the traffic is horrendous. Water is an issue in different things. So, you know, where is the benefits that people are seeing from these 17 billion? And this is maybe over what, he's been prime minister now for almost 10 years. So I guess the question is not how much money we return, but have we seen the benefits from that being felt by the population?
Yeah, well, we might get the benefit from the dragon field if America don't put sanctions on Venezuela. We might get that benefit from the dragon field, right?
Yeah, but that won't happen until maybe next, what, 3, 4 years or 5 years maybe. So again, it's a delayed benefit.
Right. And lastly, before you go, if an election was to call next month, we speculating here, who do you think will win that election?
I still see if it's next month, I see the PNM still probably maintaining and holding on to power. Very slightly, but yeah, we're
Even
gonna
with
hold on to power still.
even with the two Tobago seat, if the two Tobago seat go one for TPP and one for PDP.
You see, the thing is, if they're, like I said in the comment before, if they're going to face off against each other together with the PNMs, you know, 3-horse race in East and West, then the PNM is probably going to win that seat because they're going to split the votes and the PNM is going to come out favor. If they come to some kind of agreement that, okay, I'm going to fight one, you're going to fight the other, and we're going to one, like PNM is going to face a PDP in West and the other party in the East, then they can challenge, and then the PNM has a chance of losing for sure. But as it stands right now, I don't see that harmonization happening between Farley and Mr. Duke. I think there's still bad blood between them. I think that bad blood could work in the favor of the PNM if elections held, like I said, tomorrow or next month. It could work in the PNM favor, and they could still hold on to the PNM seats and still hold on to power.
And lastly, let's just say the PDP, let's say the PDP and the TPP come back together and they win the both seats, and it stays as is in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Who do you think the TPP slash PDP will give their 2 seats to form the next government?
Well, the PNM has already stated on numerous occasions through all my years of living in Trinidad that they win alone and they die alone. They don't go into coalition. So the PNM has already that's a foundation principle of the PNM for many years. So in that case, it's an alliance between the UNC and and the other parties to come together, and they have to work with an alliance. But the question always is now, the old saying, what? Too much man rat in a hole can't live together. Exactly. If we have these alpha people in the UNC, Watson Duke, Kamala Basad Bisasa, and whoever comes in, where the allegiance they may go with the UNC. Other question now comes, how long will that last? Because history has shown us that it always doesn't last that long.
Yeah. Dr. Maharaj, one last thing came to me, and I think it's very important. The St. Joseph constituency, we see that we have Gary Griffith of the NTA. We see that we have Anil Roberts of the UNC. Do you think when come election time, Anil Roberts may step aside and let the NTA run that, or maybe the NTA might step aside and Gary Griffith go to another constituency? What says you?
Definitely there have to be some kind of discussion between the parties for that to happen. As it stands right now, if it stays as that and is Mr. Roberts and Mr. Griffith and whoever the PNM puts up, I think the PNM is going to win it. I think the question, because I know there's been some animosity recently between the NTA and the UNC, if they somehow are able to bridge that and come to an agreement, then it could challenge the PNM in St. Joseph. But I think depending on who's going up for St. Joseph, I think it may be a battle, but I still see the PNM holding on to St. Joseph, even if it's a two-horse race. And I know St. Joseph well, because it's right next door to me. I live very close to St. Joseph constituency. I still think the UNC can eke out and win St. Joseph if it's a two-horse race. But if it's a three-horse race, they'll win clearly without any compromise. So the question let me close by saying the question is, will the NTA and the UNC come to some kind of agreement? And that's a huge question. I guess we wait to see what comes out of that. Because we know there's still bad blood somewhere in between Mr. Griffith and Ms. Bisasa, going back sometimes. So we wait to see if they're able to put that aside for whatever they want to achieve.
And they have to understand that if they go head-to-head, they're going to end up losing that seat.
No, if they go head-to-head, they're going to lose the seat. If they split, they're going to split the vote, and the PNM is going to win.
Dr. Maharaj, I want to say it's a pleasure for your first time here in the village. We really appreciate your being candid with us. And we definitely would like to have you back, but we want to thank you. Any closing words before you go?
No, but just thank you very much to yourself and Uncle Tom for the invitation. It was great to be here, and always happy to speak to people outside of Trinidad and Tobago, that people still outside, Trinidadians outside are still, looking to see what's going on inside and trying to influence. The diaspora is very important for us, and to keep that dialogue going is really, really important. So I thank you guys very much for the opportunity.
You must tell the political parties that the diaspora is important.
It's only important to them when it's time to get money. I think that's the only hard part.
Yeah. It's only important when election time come. Let us fly up quickly. But Dr. Maharaj, we want to thank you so very kindly, and thank you for taking the time to join us here in the village.
All right, thank you very much.
Right, thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night, sir.
All right, there you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was folks. We're gonna go for a quick
Internet's been challenging, but we managed it. I said internet's been challenging, but we...
Tommy, problems were so bad. I actually went out. I actually logged all the way out and come back in. But let's go for a quick break, folks. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you. We'll be right back after this. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
She's going to be singing Plight of My People. Make some noise for Lady Gypsy.
No plight of my people. Too much of one thing, good for nothing. Too much a good thing, never enough. I don't know why my black people cannot see. No party never care about we. Every election we so devoted. How we love up with PNM. As soon as election come and go, it's only problem after problem. How could we cope? Man lost their hope. I ain't seeing no solution. Every time PNM come in power, it takes a toll on black man. I don't want to sound like a racist, but this is what I can see. They just take care of the race, but they damn well know they have we. I want to ring me bell, wake up Eric Williams, tell him the party found him PNM needed immediate attention. Ring me bell, wake up Mother Cornhawks, tell she to cast a spell on we party, not what it used to be. I ring my bell, ring my bell, I ring my bell down there. I ring my bell, I ring my bell down there. This thing is becoming
We are back with you. It's in the village, Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you from WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Now, Tommy, we promise. Oh God, something wrong with my phone. Hold on, My phone not connecting. Okay, let me try something here. My phone getting problems. I wonder if I could try it on this other phone. Huh?
One of them nights.
I want to try. Hold on, Where is this now? Let me try it here. My phone here giving problems. It's not opening. Boy. Oh, I will get that number. Oh, you know what? I want to try something here, Tommy. Hold on a minute. I gotta go over here. Give me a minute. I want to do something. Hold on, Let me do this. Hold on.
Is Pharaoh still existing? As he born, resembling an Israelite, not being treated right, enslaved day and night. Oh, we just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. We like the Israelites still in pain. We just can't go on this way. So tell us or not.
Yeah, we are back with you. So, Tommy, I'm gonna try something here. I'm calling a PNM activist. And I want to think that once she hears us, she might hang up the phone.
Try.
You hear me?
Give it a shot.
But let me try and see. Yeah. So I'm calling this PNM activist, folks. We say we're calling people now, right?
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, Julia Davy. Welcome. You are live on WZYE 95.9 FM with Professor Walshid and Uncle Tommy. How are you doing, Julia?
What I doing live on your program, Wall Street? Can you tell me?
No, I'm calling you to talk to you. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
here
it's
is.
not up to no semantics for me, you know, Wall Street, because I just was looking at a video with you there, trying to disparage Fitzgerald Hines and members of the African community about who is failure and who is failure, and I was very displeased about it. So let me hear you. Let me see if I would be interested.
Well, listen to this, right? I saw a video today with what happened in the Beatum with regard to the water and the flooding in Beatum, right? And this is not the first time this happened in Beatum. And who is the representative for that area? I'm not sure.
Why are you asking me who is the representative as if you don't know who is the representative? Wall Street.
No, but I don't want to
get on with the seriousness. We know that Mr. Hines is there. Don't try to come to put me up. Don't ask me who is the MP for there. We know who is the MP. I was just disparaging the MP and I like. So why you calling me to ask me who is the MP? So all right, Mr. Hines is the MP. Okay. Next question.
You know, it's interesting, right, Juliet? You know that video is 3 years old, right? You know that, right?
I don't know how old. I don't know what video in the first place. I don't even know what you're speaking about.
No, they just told me about a video that you're watching with me disparaging Hines, and I'm telling you that the video is 3 years old.
You mean the one where you disparaging Hines?
Yeah, the one where I called him Fitzgerald Hines.
Okay, that video. All right, okay, that's 3 years old.
3 years old. You understand? So what I'm trying to show you, Julia Davy, is that when we look at these things, we have to put them in context. You understand? So it seemed like, and I really didn't call you for that. I just called you to talk to you about, the politics in Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't call you to disparage you. I didn't call you to disrespect you, because that is not what it's about. What we're doing is that we're just picking up the phone and we're calling activists on both sides of the political divide, PNM and UNC, right? And for them to have a say in what's going on in Trinidad. So let me ask you a question, Julia Davy. What is your take on the situation with respect to the 2.6 or 3 point whatever million that's missing or misappropriated, or however you want to put it? What's your take on that?
First to begin, I'm going to tell you something. Only thing I heard from you just now is some 3 point something billion, and I don't know what else went on after that because they're breaking up a lot.
Okay. All right. No, the 2.6 billion that, with respect to the Auditor General, that the government came back to the Auditor General and said there was 2.6 billion missing, and they wanted to add it back. And there was
the Auditor General said money missing. She said that? Or I thought the controversy or the impasse was surrounding some failure to submit some aspects of the report or documents that it would have been part of the report that the Auditor General would have put together. I didn't know money was missing. No. You now telling me money missing? I don't know about no money missing. I didn't hear nobody say money missing.
Well, what it was, Juliet, is that the government of Trinidad and Tobago came back to the Auditor General and told them we didn't put 2.6 billion or so in the report, and we wanted to add it back to the report. And they wanted evidence of that before they
what I understand from that, because I've not paid much attention to it, what I understand from that is that the Auditor General would have reported on a particular figure, and the finance minister and technocrats in the ministry, they would have identified that there was an omission of some 2 point something whatever billion, and that they tried to get the Auditor General to recognize it and to include it in the report. That is what I understand from that. Anything outside that you're trying to ask me, I can't help you, because there has been no evidence that there is any misappropriation of any funds. As far as I understand, it has been a breakdown in communication as between the finance people who are supposed to provide the Auditor General with information so that she can make her assessment properly. I understand that it was a breakdown in communication that I am now hearing that, and youth seem to be pushing the UNC agenda, which is that they want the population to believe, the gullible population to believe that the Minister of Finance and the government of Trinidad and Tobago stole $2.5 billion. Wall Street, you can't bring me and tie me up in that nonsense.
Juliet.
If that's what you bring me here,
I ain't call you for that.
Because interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting Wall Street. Interesting. You know, Rudal Munilal went to court on the 29th of April, right? You know that? You're aware of that?
Yeah.
Because to my mind, this is something should be more concerning to us as citizens, because that's what's going on there with the Minister of Finance and the Auditor General. It can be addressed with some degree of mutual understanding between the two parties as a way forward. But with respect to Rudal Munilal and the EMBT matter in court, that is more of a should be of more concern to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, where there seems to have been a collusion for a cartel-like behavior between government officials, meaning the line ministry and the employees of EMBD, along with contractors, to steal taxpayers' money. That should be more here it is. We have evidence that this has reached to reach the courts of Trinidad and Tobago. So far, all that is happening now with the Ministry of Finance, the Minister Colin Burt, and the Auditor General is just back and forth banter between the two. Will understand that is just a breakdown in communication. But the same cannot be said about Rudal Munilal and the matter with EMBD that is before the courts. And Rudal Munilal had to put in a defense on the 1st of May, which was yesterday, with respect to that. Because the judge in question, Mr. Aboud, at the time said that there is Munilal have things to answer as the line minister.
Juliet, you believe that?
I hope you're satisfied with me.
No, listen. You believe that 2.6 billion missing, 2.6 billion in revenue. You know, this is revenue to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Can you tell your listeners? Can you tell your listeners and tell me, Wall Street, where the money is missing? The 2.6. Can you give us?
It wasn't part of the report, Julia Davy. It was not part of the report. And they wanted to put it back in the report.
It was not part of the report, and
so
that
it was
is why
missing.
The Minister of.
So if it's not in the report, it was missing, Julia.
That is why.
Come on.
You know, parts in the ministry would have alerted. As far as I'm concerned, it would appear to me that there was some dereliction of duty on the part of
2.6 billion.
The Auditor General.
2.6
not a dereliction of duty.
2.6 billion, Julia.
Wall Street, let me tell you something. I just come home with my car wheel and my provision because
I appreciate you taking the call.
Water inside of my body. I'm feeling falling soup. Let me go and drink my soup and don't allow you to tie me up in your propaganda that you're pushing for the UNC.
Thank you very much, Julia.
Pushing up propaganda for the UNC. Kamla Pasad Bisesa and the UNC, they have collapsed. The UNC has 5. They have 5 dissidents.
Okay.
The UNC now have 5 dissidents in the parliament. Imagine that. And in order to take some spotlight off of Kamla Pasad Bisesa, who seems as well to be incapable of being fit for office, because when I look at all her pictures now, Kamla Pasad Bisesa, it looks like an old, frail woman.
Juliet.
Look, I don't even want to use the
Juliet.
to describe her. And that's all what this is about, all this talk that you picking up here.
No, there isn't no
Wall
talk
Street,
I picking up.
is
This
because
is facts. This is facts.
and they want to take some heat off of their behind.
Juliet, I am speaking facts. These are facts. This is not fiction. I am speaking facts.
The evidence of the 2.2, how much
You said it too,
missing,
Juliet. You said
give me some facts.
But I'm giving you the facts.
What is the fact?
2.6 billion.
Report. That is the fact.
2.6 billion revenue.
Let me go and make my
all right,
soup,
okay, make your soup. Talk to
Wall
you.
Street,
Thank you. No
I
problem.
want to go and make my soup.
All right, I appreciate you taking the call.
You want to engage in semantics.
All
you
right.
want to you on shenanigans. I not on that.
Okay. Thank you
want
very
to go
much.
and make my soup.
Thank you for
very
taking the
much.
call. All right.
Have a pleasant night.
Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah. Bye.
There it is.
Yeah. There it is. You see, them don't want to talk about 2.6 billion. You see, Tommy. Tommy, imagine that, Tommy. 2.6 billion missing, and I don't know about that. Conveniently, okay, talk about Munilal and Munilal in the court. 2.6 billion, 2.6 billion missing, and I didn't call she to go back and forth, I just called she to have a discussion. You understand? And I called to have a cordial discussion. Yeah. Joan, welcome. Denise G, welcome. Darren, welcome. Yeah. Let me call somebody else. Hold on, I had to call from this other phone, Tommy, because somehow my other phone decided not to. Let me see.
Oh boy. Charge on my phone going down to 7%.
Yeah, boy. Tommy, tonight is our challenge, boy.
Wow.
Tonight is our challenge. Let me call.
Gotta find this charger.
Yeah. Let me see this. Hold on. Let me call this person. So, folks, what we doing? We calling people. We calling activists now in Trinidad and Tobago. We doing something different. We originate. We don't imitate. All right. Let me see. I'm using a different phone here. Hear me? I'm trying to call. 3, 5, 8. Okay. Let me try this, We're calling another UNC activist. They say I pushing a Kamala head. So folks are trying to call another activist. No answer. All right. Let me try again. Hello, COP. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
COP, you're live on WZYE 95.9 FM. How are you?
Live?
Yeah, you're live. I
Hold on.
tell you what we're doing.
Good night, man.
I'm telling you what we're doing. We calling activists in Trinidad and Tobago. No, we called Julia Davy. Just called she. And she didn't want to talk about the 2.6 billion missing. She said she don't know about no 2.6 billion missing. She want to talk about rural Munilal.
They were talking soft was.
Eh?
I say talking soft.
Oh, you ain't much. Hold on. Let's see if I can put this thing up. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said that what we are doing now, we are calling activists now, right? In Trinidad and Tobago. Because we started cold calling ministers and things, and most of the radio stations, well, 91.9, they're doing that now, right? So we shift the focus now. We calling activists. So we call Kingsley, we call Julia Davy, and we calling you now. We just called Julia Davy. You hear me?
Yeah.
Right. We just call her and talking about the 2.6 billion missing. She says she don't know about no 2.6 billion missing. She wants to talk about rural Maryland in case any EMBD.
Break years. You breaking up or I breaking up? Out of which one is?
All right. So I'll call you back. Yeah. I'll call you back.
Yeah, well, I will call you back next 10 minutes.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah. So Tommy, are you hearing me?
Yeah, you're a lot better now.
Okay. Cameron says they like to talk about the UNC when it comes to the PNM. It's a big sin. Rishi says, whoa, the PNM people just talk so wonderful to their own people. Rowley trained them well. No, I am amazed, Tommy, 2.6 billion is of no interest to you. Well, not you, Tommy. But, and all of a sudden, talking about I carrying the UNC narrative. That's a UNC narrative. I thought that's a country's narrative. 2.6 million are missing from UNC, 2.6 billion, whether it's an understatement, a misstatement, whatever it is, misappropriation, we need to get to the bottom of it. We need to find out the truth. What happened? And that is of no interest to them. I was going to ask about, and so I asked, who is the MP for the BTOM? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's a legitimate question. And you see, Tommy, she talking about a video. You see, Tommy, them easy to fool, Right? Easy to fool. Hey, Wall Street, I see a video circulating for you all around the place with you calling. Yeah.
Disparaging.
And you know what?
Making disparages.
Yeah, but Tommy, it's true. Even 3 years ago, today, it is true about this statement. Why you don't go down in the BTOM and deal with them people and them? Go personally. You the MP and people smelling sewer water. And where are you? Where are you? You're an abysmal failure. Failure after failing. You're failing your way up to the top. And them don't want to call that out. Always share that fan wide. Don't share it in Trinidad, Share it in Tobago, share it in Grenada, share it in Barbados, share it in Jamaica, share it all over the place. I know what's going on here. Let me see if I can take this phone on the thing.
Go ahead.
Hello? Let me see if I could accept this here. Hold on, what is this one here? Tommy, I know what's going on there, All right. Something happened to my phone. So, folks, if you're going to call 973-609-6509. call 973-609-6509. Call 973-609-6509. Now listen to this. Listen to this, right? Listen to this. Tommy, I want you to listen to this.
I'm listening.
Hold on. I'm going to show true colors of black people, how they talk and live. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. The way she get on, like it's UNC money, is all our taxpayers' money just gone missing. Yeah, yeah. Here we partner come. Gail Alexander, senior report on Auditor General Jayanti Ramdas appears to be a loghead over an error detected in the 2000 TT's 2022 revenue data. A government motion to extend time to present the information to the Auditor General was passed in Parliament on Friday night after Ramdas refused to accept information seeking to correct 2.5 billion understatement of TNT revenues. Okay. So, Tommy, if you understate $2.6 billion, what does that mean to say? What happened before you want to put it back in? What happened? What does that mean? It was missing.
All she simply says that she needs evidence to support the revenue.
Because it was missing. They want to add it back because it was not there. Simple. It wasn't there. Why you want? If it was there, why you want to add back something that's already there? Why they need evidence for the $2.6 billion revenue that was missing? Folks, you know, I don't understand all you, you know. I really don't understand all your boy. Sometimes all you have to take off all your red sunglasses, man. 2.6 billion seeking to correct a 2.6 billion understatement. If it's an understatement, means it was not there. I remember when Shamfoko just said nobody lives there. Fox, it was not there. If it wasn't there, it's missing, and you want to add it back now, but you had to give me evidence. You had to show me evidence. You just want me to add it back just so? If I go to Goldman Sachs and I do an audit, and Goldman Sachs report that they had $2.6 billion in revenue, right? And I think, and I see, then they come and tell me, well, no, listen now, you see the report we send you? That is inaccurate, you know. It wasn't 2.6, it was 3.6 billion in revenue. 1 billion somehow didn't put in. I say, okay, no problem. Just give me the evidence for the 1 billion. Give me the statement that shows the 1 billion that was missing. Talk done. Simple. Easy. Easy peasy. You tell me it was 2.6. You made an error. It's 3.6. 1 billion was misstated. Or 1 million was understated. As Fox says, understated. Right? So you want to give me the accurate number now. I can't just put the number in the report without any evidence. Really? Really? Are you serious? Look. In my estimation, the TTPS need to get involved in this. The Integrity Commission need to get involved in this. This appears to me to be misbehavior in public office. Who will suffer the consequences? Who? Tell me who? Anybody?
Nobody. And the only loser in this is the citizen.
Yeah. That is 2.6 billion of the people of Trinidad and Tobago dollars. That is not PNM dollars or UNC dollars. Or Tommy, or it wasn't really no $2.6 billion and no revenue was there, you know. They wanted to mislead the population. Maybe it is not no 2.6 billion, you know. Maybe it isn't, you know. Maybe they just take that 2.6 out of thin air and feel they go pull wool over the Auditor General head and she go just put it in. You know, put it in now. You know, our president put you there, you know. So just put that in. You don't need no evidence. We tell you put it in, just put it in. All you, but you know something, Tommy, even bigger? What about the books from last year and the year before that and the year before that? I am calling on the Auditor General to go and do past reviews now. Yeah, you can't trust them. You cannot trust them.
How long Ramdas in this position now?
I'm sure we had to ask that question. Transparency and accountability. I don't know if they cooked the books previously. Maybe they did. Maybe them books was cooked previously. And I'm saying literally cooked. So they could have been lying to us about revenues too. If they could lie in a big thing like $2.6 billion misstatement or understatement, let me use Fox's word. Yeah? Let me use PNM Fox's word. Ramdas refused to accept information seeking to correct a $2.6 billion understatement of TNT revenue for 2023. Using his words. Understatement. All right. Okay. Okay, Fox. No problem. Give me the proof now. Let me get the proof now. And you know what? While we at it, let me go back and see the books for 2022. Let me see it for 2021. Let me see it for 2020. Let me go all the way back. Because you know, Tommy, they lie to us and tell us when they come in office, there was only 3 days left of money. Maybe they cooked the books to show how much money revenue we had when we really didn't have it. What? I want the Integrity Commission. I want the TTPS. I want the National Financial Institution. I want all of them now to do an investigation. Every one of them. Yeah. A fish doesn't rotten from the tail. I've said it over and over and over. A fish does not rotten from the tail. Yeah? Here comes your friend. I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Tommy, can you see that? Read that for me. I can't read it. I don't have on my red sunglasses.
Let me put on my glasses.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll leave my red sunglasses upstairs. I don't know where it is.
Let me put on my glasses.
I don't have it. On your glasses, read that for me because I can't read that with my red sunglasses. Read that for me.
The obsession will be your demise in TNT.
What does that mean?
You get that, Wall Street?
What does that mean?
You're going to have to ask me, Jane, that one.
I don't understand that. Obsession with what?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either. I don't know. Minjin, you could call in and explain yourself because I don't know what you're talking about. That woman talking to you with such disgust and no respect, my God, I feel shame to listen to that. Nah, you don't have to feel shame, boy, Rishi, boy. You know? Did I show you who they are? The PNM afraid to face the people. That's a fact when last you see any of them face the people in public. No, I'm afraid to go in the beat them. Imagine you representing a constituency and you can't go there. Just imagine that. You representing a constituency and you can't go there. Eh? Call Philip Alexander. Philip Alexander don't take our calls. We tried them many times. Do not forget the part error. Stop misleading people, Wall Street. Okay, let me go back to his thing. Let me read it for you again. Gail Alexander, senior reporter, government, and Auditor General Jawanti Ramdas appear to be at loggerheads over an error. Listen to this, it's an error detected in the 2020 revenue data. It's an error, okay? Let's go with that premise. Tommy, let me go with the premise as an error, okay? Right?
Yes.
A government motion to extend the time to present information to the Auditor General was passed in the Parliament on Friday night after Ramdas refused to accept information seeking to correct a 2.6 billion understatement of TNT's revenue for 2023. So it was an error of 2.6 billion understatement, right? So that means to say to me, I have to add back $2.6 billion, correct? Give me the
That's
facts
right.
now. Give me the documentation to show it now. You just want me add back something just so because you tell me? Okay, it's an error.
But guess what? I understand that even though they're trying to write an error, months after it was due, they still backdated the information that.
This is an error. Why you have to backdate the document? Why? Folks, all the real thing people really dotish and true to nobody. All the really think people that gullible to nobody.
Obviously, people are.
Yep. Hello, caller. Welcome.
Obviously, people are that gullible because, for the most part, you have somebody like Julia Davis making the statement she made.
She don't want to hear about that. Mr. Florida, go ahead.
Yeah, so Mr. Hansen, I totally agree with you. That money can't be going missing just so. You're talking about $3 billion. $1 billion is $1,000 million. You know how much money is that? But the thing is, the question I had to ask Mr. Hansen and Mr. Tommy, you think Trinidad have protesters or demonstrators?
Demonstrators, not protesters.
Yeah. And there's a thing a way to look into, and I don't know if you could form a comparison. It's called the critical race theory. Check it out.
You raise a big, you go raise a ant's nest, you go raise a bachak nest there, boy. Bachak. Critical.
All right, look on this, Mr. Hansen. Great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Great conversation.
Yeah. Ooh, Tommy. He want to get into a bachak nest there, boy. What? Mr. Florida, boy. Critical race theory, boy. Whoa. You think Trinidad and Tobago ready to talk about that? Eh, Tommy?
At all. They're ready.
I don't know if we're ready to talk about critical race theory. But we could talk about it.
We could talk about it, except I don't think they're ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen to this. Who said the Auditor General was asked to correct the error without verifying the information? The Ministry of Finance. Why do you think that is essentially a pre-action protocol? Why? Why do you send somebody a pre-action protocol? Why? Just, you know what? We just send them a pre-action protocol. They ain't do nothing wrong. So we don't want to send them a pre-action protocol. Eh? Who said the Auditor General was asked to correct the error without verifying the information? But that's why they log ahead. Because she can't verify the information. She cannot document $2.6 billion error, as you said. Error? I'm using your words, you know. Tommy, I don't know, boy. Like, you see, I think somebody says it's nonsense. I don't want to say that. I just say maybe it's dotishology, foolishology, stupidology, and if you go close to sentence, madology. Yeah? Okay, here he goes again. He said the error resulted from a new electronic check clearance system, which was not implemented properly by all concerned. Input said public servants came to an embarrassment as they felt it would be improper for revenue to be understated by 2.6 billion. You know, folks, there's a quote that says, when you're in a hole and you're digging, sometimes you have to stop digging. I mean, you keep on digging and going deeper and deeper and deeper. I mean, I don't know, but I know that. I worked at the New York Stock Exchange for 23 years. And if it's an error of $2.6 billion missing. You have to prove that when you want that to be added in. Because it wasn't in there, you know. It was not in there. If it's not in there, you want me to add it back. You just want me to add it back just so? Okay. So show me the electronic check now, man. Show me the check for 2.6 billion and everything quiet. Yeah. Rishi say, well, she take this time and spend it with your family. Forget this nasty failure, people. It will never change the way to talk. I feel like leaving Trini now. Yes, Trini people will support that and say the PNM. And just, I believe they were cooking the books. The last so many years, is there any way that can be checked? Yeah, I want to believe they were cooking the books. I want to believe the RPNM was cooking the books. And it's not like they're making a soup or a pasta or a rice and peas, you know. They was cooking the books with respect to misleading the population of Trinidad and Tobago. Telling you we're making this amount of money. You know, don't forget the Prime Minister said all his travels brought in 17 billion into Trinidad and Tobago. Show it now. Show the people now. Show it now. Oh God, show it now. Fox, ask them to show it now. Show the 7 billion and he's going to Ghana again. He going Ghana again. For what? Please, please. Trinidad one of the best cocoa in the world. What we going Ghana for? Maybe you go bring back some gold when you go there. Wall Street, you're talking rubbish. Debunk the rubbish now. Debunk it now. Rennie Mohammed, welcome. Julia Davy will make a great peer them. Yeah. MP. Call him, Rebong. We don't have enough time. We go call him next time. If you have a business and mess up and paying your taxes to the government, they don't want to hear backdate is fraud, you know, coming from you. They get caught. That was happened. Yeah, Rishi, they get caught with their hand, not just in the cookie jar, you know, not just in the cookie jar, you know, but in the coal pot what Scotland was talking about. Remember, Scotland said there's fries, breadfruit, and coal pot? They put their hand in the coal pot and it get burned. Oh God! They put their hand in the coal pot and the coal pot burn them. I didn't sing that song. Look. Yeah, people very gullible. That's why we just treat them. They're gullible. Look at them people and you beat them. Look at them. Sua. Who's the representative? Who? Phil Gerald Hines. How come he ain't go down there? Why he ain't go down there and deal with the people? Because he cannot. The last time he was there, he sprint out of there like a beat 'em Olympics. Oh God! Tommy, the man run the 20-meter dash. That's a new race they're going to put in the Olympics. A 20-meter dash. The man dash out of there and they dash water on him. Yeah?
Double dash.
DD, boy. The man sprint out of there, boy. That's the first time they see a dread sprint so fast. And the man afraid to go back. And if you go back, you have to go with 45 security detail.
Yet if they call election tomorrow, he's winning again.
He winning again? How you mean? Call an election tomorrow now? Call an election. Them same people out there marching for sewer water and they ain't see this one and the minister thing coming down there and all kind of thing. Them going back and vote for the same people. Or they stay in all the sewer water. Right? Hey. Rennie Mohammed said lack of sensology. Rennie, that's a good one. I gotta use that one. Madology, stupidology, foolishology, dotishology, all kind of ologies. Yeah? You keep come again. A government motion takes time to prevent information to the auditor was passed in Parliament on Friday after Ramdas refused to accept information seeking to correct a 2.6 billion. You know why? There was no evidence. There was no evidence to support it. That's why. Yeah?
Supporting,
And she was right.
supporting documentation.
Correct is right. She was absolutely correct. We need more Ramdasses in Trinidad and Tobago. We need a few more Ramdasses in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, we need a few more like her. Give me a few more like her. Give me some of them on the Integrity Commission so they could get some testicular fortitude. Give me some like on the commission. Give me some of them in the TTPS so could do an investigation into this. Give me some of them. And the what is that the Financial Intelligence Agency? Them? Put some of them on there too. FIU. Put some of them on there too. Yeah, we putting Ramdasses all about the place. We gonna Ramdas the place. Tommy, we gonna Ramdas to that and Tobago, boy.
Ramdas the whole damn place and done.
It's Ramdas in your waist, Ramdas in your face, Ramdas in your patent place, boy. We Ramdas in the place. All about. Trinidad go get fixed. Oh God. Yes? Cameron, this is what I can't understand with the PNM. I is a supporter of the UNC, and if it's wrong, I say they. I say. But the difference when PNM, if you call them out, they'll kill you politically. Let me say it. Rowley say that. Yeah, but you know, I ain't even want that. Yeah? You know, all know how it looking. They seen it, but don't want to believe because it's race coming to play now. Believe it or not. Yeah, they're going to make it an entire race issue. Yeah? Fox says Ramdas refused to accept information seeking to correct a 2.6 billion. You know why? Because there was no evidence. Evidence. When there's an auditor, you have to get evidence. That's why she's the Auditor General. Auditor General. Whenever you seek to correct information, especially about $2.6 billion error or misstatement, as you said, Fox, you need something called evidence. Let me slow down. Evidence. I don't know if you get that.
In other words, supporting documentation.
Correct is right. It is called supporting documentation. No, how can they cook the books? No, yes, they can cook the books because maybe before they gave her another misstatement or another error and she just took it. And this time she said, nah, I ain't taking no more misstatement or no more error. I want evidence. Fox? Oh, God. Fox, all ain't easy, no, but I like all you. Was not misleading the people. Really doing things bold face. You know, he could get away with it. Yeah, well, he thought he would have got away with this one. In both of them thought they would have got away with this one, you know. But they get ramdased. They get ramdased.
They're ramming the dust.
You ramming the dust. Oh, God. Yeah, a few of them get ramdased, boy. We ramming the dust. Ram in the face, ramdas in the face, ramdas in the waist, ramdas in the pit in place. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Anytime Trinidad put back Rowley and his government back in power in 2025, I buy a plane ticket out of here because this country on life support and they come back dead. Yeah, Fox don't want to hear that. Yeah, Mr. Florida.
Hey, Mr. Anselm, I feel Fox Islam is first cousin to a jellyfish, you know. Because you know what they say about a jellyfish?
What is
it? Have no brain. Look on and listen.
Yeah, Fox is an engineer. Yeah, he's an
engineer. Fox is full of jellyfish. They hear a jellyfish have no brain. So I look on listen.
All right, Mr. Florida. That's a good one.
Fox is an engineer. Yeah, but he's an engineer. I don't know if he's what type of engineer, but he's an engineer. What is the problem with sewage in the US? More than Tommy, look how it has come, eh? Look, they're very, Tommy, they're very predictable, you know. Very, very predictable. What it does do is when things ain't going their way, they just try to shift the goalposts. You understand?
Yep.
Shift the
Yep.
goalposts. But I want to tell Fox, the Soca Warriors looking for some goalpost shifters. You understand? Because they just get so much goals. They need to shift the goalposts. Hey, Fox, I know.
Of the football field.
Yeah, yeah, that'll shift it. That'll shift the goalposts. Fox, I know the coach at the Soca Warriors. They're looking for some goalpost shifters. You want me to recommend you? I can recommend you, you know. What is the problem with sewage in the US? Yeah, where you go, Tommy? What is the problem with sewage in the US? More than 2 million people in the US lack indoor plumbing, and more live with failing sewage system that can result in waste backing up in their homes or pooling on the ground, threatening public health and degrading basic dignity. You see where Fox gone? Eh? Fox?
Non-issues. Non-issues.
Non-issue. You talking about how much people live on the Beatum? How much people? A few thousand? Eh? He talking about 2 million as opposed to a few thousand, and you can't fix that problem? And them is your constituency forever. They have never forsaken you. They have always voted for you. And you can't fix that? Fox. Nah. You ain't serious. Shorter shower, drive less, cook in cool pot. Government want everything to make accommodate your incompetence. Wash it. I worry you next time you come to Trinidad, they will deport you back to the US. You know, Rishi said they're going to deport me back to the US. Oh, God. Oh, God. When he said, Cameron, the plane ticket expired because it shouldn't be there a second time. Oh, God. Yeah. Boy. You know what? Break my heart. That's how she talk. And you're frightening for the beaten people and the transparent. If you're doing the right thing, they will still vote back the same people. What did all that to the people? That's what I'm telling you, man. Them men fight for them, you know. Them men go fight for them. Rennie Morbin, at that time, I was not old enough to vote. But if I have walk or crawl, I go and vote Rowley out. You see, yeah, you excuse. America is a first world country. Okay. All right. So you know what, folks? Just let the people get this one done now, man. What's the big deal? Man, compare US to Chile. You know, man, when Fox is the man, I still see the point to talk again. I tell you, you know, Rishi, man, compare what the people in Beatum facing to what the people in America facing, wherever it is. It's just like the PSA to compare. She talking about people up here hungry and there's the lineup for food and all kind of thing. And them people have what we call it again, Tommy? What it is? When do we talk about the food banks? Right?
The safety net.
Safety net. There we go. Fox, we don't want to hear about the US. You're Trini, you ever seen before you talk about people house? Make sure your home fixed nice before you talk. Yeah, I mean, Fox talking about US. Beatum is an issue, but America is not an issue. We ain't talking about America. We ain't talking about America. They're not $2.6 billion missing, you know. America no money missing. Eh?
At all.
Which other country, Fox, had $2.6 billion missing? Go and Google it and try to find a level, you know now. Let me make a comparison. In America. America ever had $2.6 billion missing from revenue? Eh?
Not at all.
Fox? Wall said, Capital said, Wall, you remember those are your... No, yeah, that's my piano friend. All right, look. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's my piano friend. So, folks, put closing comments in the chat and try to see if you could put about 2.6 billion closing comments. Or just put 2.6 closing comments. Listen, folks, I want you all to put 2.6 closing comments in the chat. 2.6. Right? Not one or not two. 2.6 closing comments in the chat. Yeah? Let's go for the break. We'll be right back. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheed, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. Stick and stay.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's In the Village. Yours truly, Professor Walsheed, Uncle Tommy, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Capitan said that sewer pipe is a main transmission line from Westmoreland. Okay.
Wow.
Tommy.
Capitan,
I don't believe that. Though. You mean them poor people in Beatum getting rich people sewer? Hey, Tommy, is that what it is?
maybe they'll get rich.
Nah. I'm not coming from Westmoreland. Nah. Capitan, you ain't telling truth. Fox, we living in Trinidad and Tobago. Like, we do stand up plane ticket for Fox. You really like to talk about it? Yeah. Listen, if Fox come to the US, he go live nice. Hey, Tommy? As a matter of fact, Fox, even if you're hungry, they have safety nets in this country called food banks. And they have many of them in many communities. You could go to a food bank 2-3 times a day and get food for weeks. And by the time you finish 1 week, you could have food for months. Yeah? Capitan said the Beatum Pianites are smelling only 1%. Oh, God. Are we comparing a 1.4 million country to a 100 million place? It's more than 100 million Rishi place. See when the suffering in Trinidad to turn a blind eye and let it be. Yeah, they're comparing what's going on in Trinidad to what's going on in the United States. Why they don't worry about the United States? You know, things we have here, it have called safety nets, boy. It have plenty safety nets. Yeah. Yeah, Fox, boy, that's an expensive place, boy. Glendale, California. Yeah, boy. And I'm sure you had it nice down there. Yeah? So you retire now in Trinidad, you're getting Social Security and all kind of thing. Yeah. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Where Lady Diana? Lady Diana is no longer with us. Big up yourself, Fox. But Tommy, let me read my closing quote. Let me read my closing quote. The next playing tonight, I'm going to watch the rest of the game. I'm going to watch the rest of the next game.
Yep.
I wanted to say thank you to Rishi Maharaj for joining us tonight. It was really a pleasure. My closing quote is, your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. From where I said this is it, the clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. There you go, Tommy.
Yeah, tonight I'm not gonna go off too much. All I'll simply say is that you, the man in the mirror, have to become the change you want to see. However, if you look in that mirror and don't like what you see, do not blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you can give them a hand up. Be safe, walk good, take good care. Love you all. See you, God willing, on Sunday. Peace, God.
Thank you, Tommy.
You're welcome.
So let me read these closing comments. Rennie Mohammed says, live, love, laugh, ingredients for long life. Haile says, rebuke the foolhardy, because into a soul that plots evil wisdom enters not. When he say play snake in the body, say. All right, let me see if I can find that one. I should have played shorty boy money, no problem. Oh God. Yeah. So folks, we are out of here. Thank you for joining us. Oh, before we go, we want to wish Lana a happy birthday. Lana, one of our long-time favorites here in the village. Lana, happy birthday to you. And Walls, your homework. That's sewer, Walls. We had to find the source of the sewer. Yeah, Lana, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lana.
Yeah, and Capitan say, Walls, I send you my picture of my red yard roosters where I live. I have real sewer problems. Okay. America. Talk to Fox. He go get it fixed for you. Yeah. Fox could fix anything. So, folks, we are out of here. See you on Sunday. Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics. This is for Rennie Mohammed.
I want to invoke the doctor and then write him a letter. I want to ask him a question. If he knew what was going on, the other day I was passing, I hear people complaining. He is the man with the answer, but he quite over yonder. They say, snake in the valley, snake in the valley.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Snake in the valley, and the biting hard. Snake in the valley, I'm sorry for Trinidad. Big snakes in the country, man, they worse than my people. When they're making the racket, they just dress up in nice jacket. Some big fat mackerel drink out the oil in the oil well. I don't know how they found the key, but I hear they empty the treasury. Snake in the valley, snake in the valley, snake in the valley, and the biting hard. Snake in the valley, destroying Trinidad. Oh yeah, now man.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
I want to question the hunters who does cut down the squatters. They just cut down your hammock. They don't care if you sleep on rock. Why them snakes in the country only pulling their belly? I want to ask what causing that, but afraid they shoot off the hat. I'm telling you, snakes in the valley, snake in the valley, snake in the valley, and the biting hard. Snake in the valley, I'm sorry for Trinidad. I hear in the woman, the country in danger. Them snake have no feelings. They just bite up anything. I hear they bite up the money and have the country in jeopardy. They bite up the pipeline, no water for the swine. I don't know what they would do next. They bite up a whole racing complex. Snake in the valley, snake in the valley.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Snake in the valley, and the biting hard. Snake in the valley, I'm sorry for Trinidad. I'm there, I'm a hammer. Do I am, do I am, do I am.